This is my Insta360 X3, which I've owned now for roughly 3 months. And this is me, an average mountain biker who's recently started a YouTube channel, so I thought I'd invest in a brand new action camera that seemed to be the full package. But after 3 months, it's had its ups and its downs. How does this camera fare against the industry standard GoPro? I'll let you know my hands-on experience in this video with this brand new action camera, and to be honest, it's not a good one. As far as the camera goes, and with me being new to shooting in 360, I'm more than impressed with the footage that the X3 does produce. However, this camera was bought for one purpose, and that was for the sick POV footage that this thing shoots. But with me being a mountain biker and living in the northeast of England, it means I'm well acquainted with one thing: rain. Rain equals mud, and mud teamed with a chest guard has sadly put a number of scratches on my camera's lens. Now, silly me, I should have done my research and I realised how easily these protruding lenses are scratched. But I didn't, and now look at me, I'm reaping the rewards of this lovely scratched lens. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but if I do zoom in, there's a slight haziness and a line on the footage there. You can just see it going over the box. That again is the scratches on the lens, and that's what I'm dealing with in nigh on all of my footage using this camera. This is its first major downfall against its counterparts. Obviously the GoPro, this is my Hero 11 Mini. You just simply twist this lens and that pops off, if that ever does get damaged. But the only time I ever see these get damaged is when they're used with an FPV drone, or they're falling off cars and they're going 50 odd mile an hour, so the hardy as anything, the GoPro lenses. So like I said, it's the first major downfall of the X3. When I bought the camera, I bought what I thought was the logical thing, bike bundle. But in the bike bundle, as you can see, you get the handlebar mount and the chest mount. The chest mount I've used every single ride and I can't fault it whatsoever, but the handlebar mount, it's completely useless. I'll throw a few clips in now where when I first actually bought the camera and I used it on the bike, and it is good, but it just isn't strong enough to have it on the invisible selfie stick. So I used this and tried to pull it out as far as it would go and have it sat behind me on the bike. Again, it's good for your social media stuff, whatever. You'll see on screen some footage of me on a boat. It has its uses, but it's not really good in the mountain biking world. In this kit, you didn't get these lens protectors that you can probably see on the screen. You can just see the inner lens, which is the actual Insta360 lens, and this is the protective cover, which just stick on. I've also obviously got the microphone mufflers, which are well needed when you're using this for mountain biking. Now, with the scratch lens, I did contact Insta360, and at the time, yes, I should have done my research and looked into the camera lens more. I'll hold my hand up, that was my fault. I appreciate the offer. I think it was a 30% discount Insta360 offered me on replacing the two lenses, but even still, the 30% offers on a figure of about £400 or US dollars, whatever it was. Yet they need sending to China for replacement, because you can't physically take these lenses off without taking the camera apart. I've seen people use like a polishing compound and try and polish out the scratches, but you shouldn't have to do that on a brand new action camera, in my honest opinion. Again, my fault. Live and you learn. Moving on, so the next point is the batteries. The batteries on this camera are much larger than any action camera battery that I've seen before. Obviously my Hero 11 Mini, this doesn't even have a battery. This you just plug and play. Plug it in the side and then charge it up. However, this crashes all the time. I can't tell you the amount of times where I've had to stand there and press all the buttons on the camera, waiting the 10 seconds for it to reset and then go again. This Insta360 S3, the battery is phenomenal. I think I've used it for full days out riding, and then come home, thought I'll have a little cool down, spin of the legs, went out one night, and it just to say died. It's probably after about a full day's worth of filming and then half an hour's ride. So I cannot fault the battery life whatsoever. Obviously, with it being a 360 cam, you end up with the Insta360 software, and that software, I tell you, hands down, is probably one of the better softwares that I've used for editing. Adding the keyframes onto the video where you want them, being able to spin the camera around, like I say, it's my first experience with a 360 cam, so I was actually blown away. All the different modes, all the tiny earth modes, they are good. So when you're in the Insta360 Studio, you tend to utilise the direction lock for the mountain biking footage. When I used to use my GoPro, I'd use it on my chin mount on my full face helmet, and that was probably the best POV footage that I could get with that. However, now with this new 360, I just utilised the chest mount that I got with the biking pack. The issue I'm having with that is the direction lock. When you click that on, it puts it into one direction and doesn't let it come out of that direction until you move it as a keyframe. However, when you utilise that in dicky dark woods, as you do in mountain biking, switchback berms, as you experience on most trails, the camera and the direction lock just don't play ball. The internal gyroscope of the camera just seems to throw the footage everywhere. You can see on screen now, unedited clip, where you can see how much the camera just moves about in dark woods. Obviously, the GoPros, don't get me wrong, they do not perform well in the stabilisation in the dark. But with this then being a 360 camera, you've got two lenses trying to do one thing at once, and it just does not play ball with the footage. Even after you come out the woods, it's still playing about and it's trying to catch up with itself on which degree that the camera's actually pointing to on the direction lock. So you have to proper play about with the editing software just to make sure that the footage is actually looking alright. So what you can see on screen here is just one trail where I headed into the woods, and then further down the trail it was still not performing as you'd thought a brand new action camera would be. Now obviously the rest of the time the flow state stabilisation on this camera is absolutely second to none. The GoPro stabilisation is good, but obviously it doesn't half crop the footage. This camera is literally probably one of the better cameras for POV footage, if not the best. At the time of recording this video, the GoPro Hero 11 is now being surpassed by the 12 and the new max lens mod. As far as the 360 camera footage goes on that, it looks very good, and it has been one that I've been keeping my eye on. Obviously I have this camera, but for the cost of what it would cost me to get these lenses repaired, I could probably on the Black Friday deals get a brand new GoPro Hero 11 12 and the max lens mod accounted in for that. So I'm just keeping my options open at the minute. So my honest opinion of the Insta360 X3, I would tell anybody to buy it, but what I would say is buy lens protectors before you go on any journey, and on your lens protectors then buy the peel on and peel off glass-like protectors, as they seem to be the thing that keeps most people's Insta360 X3 lenses looking fresh and clean. Now when I bought the sticky guard surrounds, they do come with another glass lens, but like you can probably see on the screen, these ones are already scuffed to bits, so they will need replacing again soon. But underneath I'm then dealing with the photos that you can see on screen of the lens, and this was after one use in the mud, so it's not brilliant, it's not ideal, but the POV footage that you get on this camera is second to none. Like, I cannot express how much it's up to the level of footage that I'm putting out on the YouTube. So if you are an avid mountain biker and you want to get this camera, I would recommend it, but please do buy the sticky guards, buy a peel on peel off lens protector that will keep your 360 footage looking fresh. And on that, thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video or any of the content that you've seen, please do remember to check out my channel. It'd be much appreciated of any likes and subscribes. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Peace.